I'm really curious to know, like, you have your incredible gym right now.
Thank you.
You have the, the supercars. You have the identity, I'd like to say. What shaped Mike to be who he is today? I'm really curious. What's been the journey like for you to be where you are right now?
I hope we have time. Because it's a long story. But I think the best way to do is kind of go back to the beginning and start there, right?
Sure.
A lot of people don't know I'm Iranian. You do, of course,
sure.
Because you're Iranian yourself, so is you. But most people don't know. I've always been the white Iranian, if that makes sense, because my complexion is so light. So I'll go to Persian concerts, and I'll be hanging out, and there'll be Iranians talking shit about me at the concerts, literally sitting next to me, you know what I mean?
Wow.
What is this white guy doing here at the concert, X, Y, and Z? And I always politely turn around, always salam, which means, hi, how are you, And their face, they get more pale than I am, you know what I mean? They just turn white all of a sudden. They're shocked, but yeah, so I'm Iranian. I was born in Iran, 1983. When I was about 2, we migrated to Turkey during the Iran-Iraq War. And we were refugees there for 6 months. And then from there we traveled over to Germany. And we were asylum seekers. So we lived in Germany for about 8 or 9 years in refugee camps. And when I say refugee camp, that's what it was back then, right? Because there was a lot of displacement going on in Europe, in Iran, in the Middle East. There was war everywhere, essentially, right? And we lived in what was a motel that they converted into a refugee center. So imagine a motel room that's meant for 2 people to share, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is. And they'd have 8 people per room. So at that time it was me, my mom, my dad, and there was 3 other people, and we were sharing one room, right? So I remember all this, by the way. I was 2.5 years old, give or take.
Wow.
And I have pretty vivid memories of that, which is crazy. My mom asked me about that, going back that many years. She goes, "You still remember that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I remember the field behind the motel, all the sheep and cows and everything else that was out there."
Wow.
So we did that for about 9 years while we were waiting for a green card to come to the U.S.
Wow.
My grandparents, were already here. A couple of my aunts and uncles were here. So they petitioned for us to, also come there. But it's an 8 or 9 year wait, and now I think it's a 15 to 20 year wait. It's even longer,
Wow.
right? So we finally got all the proper documents to migrate here legally, and we came to the U.S. in 1994. So 31 years now, almost 32 years ago, right? Crazy to think about that. I'm a U.S. citizen now, which I'm very proud of.
Nice.
I'm dual citizen, Iranian and U.S. citizen.
Love that. Sure.
This is actually my 3rd language. People don't know that. Farsi is our mother language, first language, and then living in Germany for 9 years, I went to school there, so German is my 2nd language. And I learned English 1994, I started learning it. So this is my 3rd language. But when we moved to the US, there was a lot of hardship here too, right? I don't come from an affluent family, no rich parents, no rich grandparents. So when we moved here, we were living at my grandma's house with my uncle and my aunt and their children. So it was my grandma, my grandpa, me, my sister, because my sister was born in Germany.
Okay.
So now there's 4 of us, my dad, my mom, sister, and me. Grandma, grandpa, my uncle, his wife, their children, my aunt, her husband, and their children.
Wow.
So it was about 15 or 16 people living, under one roof. But that's what we had to do to survive. My dad wasn't working yet, my mom wasn't working yet, right? It took time to find jobs and kind of start moving into industry and get things going. And even after that, once we moved out, we were living under Section 8 housing, right, in California.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know that about me either. And Section 8 housing, anybody who's lived in Section 8 housing, it's the hood. You know what I mean? You're living amongst the poorest people in the country and some of the most dangerous areas in the country. So there's a little bit of gangster inside of me that people don't know, but I'm legitimately from the streets, right? And I don't just say that to have street credit. As we get deeper into the story, I'll share more stuff with you guys, but I shouldn't be sitting here right now, let's put it that way, right? The things I've done, the way I grew up, I shouldn't be here right now. The odds were against me from day one, So I'm still surprised and shocked myself sometimes that I am sitting here, that I do live this life.
You came to the States when you were like around 10, 11, you said?
Yeah, about 10 years old, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your first job when you came here?
So I actually started working at 15, which is a legal age in California to start working, right? I was doing things for cash prior to that, just washing cars,
Hustling.
helping,
Yeah.
hustling, exactly, helping out. Because my parents didn't have money. You know what I mean? So I wasn't getting handed anything. There was no weekly allowance, none of that. Yes, I was living with bare means. So I started trying to acquire cash any way I could early on, right? When I was 12, 13, 14, whatever I could. You know, clean neighbors' cars, clean houses, whatever I could do to get extra 20 bucks I would do, right? So the hustler mentality was there from a very early age, but the opportunity wasn't. So my first job actually was at Kmart in San Jose, California. I was a cashier. Yeah.
Wow, same as Manny Cushman, I think.
Yeah,
you guys have that in
I
common.
believe so, yeah. This was my first job. And then I think I worked there for about 6 to 12 months, and I upgraded Target. And I became a cashier at Target, you know, which is an elevated
for
store. Exactly, yeah. So I was actually proud of myself. I felt like I was bougie because I was working at Target instead of Kmart, right? And keep in mind, I was 15, 16 working these two jobs, right? And all of my friends at that time, not all of them, but the vast majority of them, they had very affluent parents. Because as you know, generally speaking, the Iranian community, there's a lot of success, right? A lot of people that came here after the revolution that brought a lot of money with them, the parents, right? Doctors, engineers, you name it. I didn't have that. Neither one of my parents are educated. None of my parents had any money that came here, right? So while they're going to school, driving M3s, M4s, enjoying life, and this is reality, right? They know, they're probably watching this right now. I'm not kidding with you when I say my friends in high school, their parents would buy them brand new BMWs. You know, one of them got a brand new Dodge Viper when he was 16 years old.
Dodge Viper to a 16-year-old is crazy.
Yeah.
So, you know, they all came from money, or they all had parents that had money. I was maybe one of a couple of kids in the group that was legitimately poor. So I had to work to build my own money. So if we went out to Chili's and had some food, I could, you know, pay 10 bucks for my meal, right?